Funding provided by...
You work hard to feed them well. That's why at Fairway, we're committed to our foundation of personalized service while treating our customers like family and valuing our employees. Fairway Meat and Grocery, that's what we're all about.
By Muscle Lighting, the sports lighting specialists, providing lighting systems for you, your project, and your community. It is time for championship softball, the second of 3 title games here in beautiful Fort Dodge, Iowa. It is a hot Friday afternoon. The wind is blowing, and the winds of change have hit Class 4A. The Boone Toreadors and the Western Dubuque Bobcats. It's the underdog game. Hello, everybody. Along with Laura Leonard, I'm Paul Yeager, and this is a game, Laura, of 2 teams trying to claim the term underdog. Neither team has been in a title game before. Something's got to give, but they're pretty fun teams to watch.
They are fun teams, and don't let that underdog moniker fool you. They have a quiet confidence about both of them, and I think it's going to come down to the hitting in this ball game.
This is a game that features Boone in their first title game ever in any team sport. It is not their first trip to state, but they are coming from a powerful conference that looks like, Laura, got them ready for state.
That Raccoon River Conference is really tough. They had a lot of representation here in this tournament, and it did get them ready.
Emma Dighton, the key. We'll talk about her in a moment. Western Dubuque says, we play pretty good softball in a pretty good conference. All of their losses came to 5A schools because they play in a tough conference as well.
That gets them ready as well, playing up a level and have to go up against those 5A teams. They are ready to go, and they do have that sneaky confidence within their team.
Before we have introductions, let's go up to Tim Fitzpatrick.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union's First Lady Award is the most prestigious award the IGHSAU can bestow on an individual. The award is given to a daughter of Iowa, recognizing the millions of girls of the Commonwealth who have carried the tradition and training of a sport into varied and important careers, and for the singularly illustrious and memorable accomplishments. We are proud today to recognize the 14th recipient of the IGHSAU First Lady Award, Joanne Gokenauer Brocker. The former Joanne Gokenauer is a 1963 graduate of West Harrison High School in Mondayman, Iowa. Joanne played 6-on-6 basketball and went on to play college at Dana College, where she graduated with honors and is a member of the Dana College Hall of Fame. Joanne became the head women's basketball coach at Midland Lutheran College and later Midland University in Fremont, Nebraska, and coached the team for 42 seasons. At Midland, Joanne enjoyed tremendous success. She guided her team to 8 NAIA national tournament appearances, including a Final Four trip, with numerous national rankings and conference titles. Her 742 wins are the most among NAIA basketball coaches. Joanne's influence in the evolution of women's basketball has been enormous. She served on the Kodak All-American Selection Committee for 13 years and was a member of the USA Basketball Olympic Selection Committee from 1991 through 2012. She has served on many national committees and has been the recipient of countless national awards. Joanne's service to women's basketball was recognized in 1999 when she was part of the inaugural class of inductees into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union is very proud to present Joanne Brocker as the 14th recipient of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union's First Lady Award. Joining Joanne today is her husband, Leon. Congratulations.
It's been a award that has just not been given out very often, and that makes it all the more special, and that's all part of the pageantry that we have, and we always have to kind of watch the weather too, determining if the tarp stays. And Laura, it has collected dust this week. It is currently 90 degrees in Fort Dodge. The winds out of the south-southwest at 14 miles an hour. It feels like 100 degrees, but this is the peak. We're going to start getting cooler from here. But it's just still, it caused problems in that first game. We'll see what it does here in the second.
The wind could cause some problems here in this ball game. It looks like it's picked up just a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see. And then with the sky, the bright sky and the sun setting.
Be a fun challenge. We'll see how it happens here as the two teams are headed out to the line, and we'll now have the reserves and starting lineups introduced.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and softball fans. Welcome to Rogers Sports Complex in this 4A championship softball game between the visiting team, the Boone Toreadors, and the home team, the Western Dubuque Bobcats. Now let's meet the members of both teams. First of all, for the visitors from Boone. Here are your non-starters. Number 3, Gracie Baker. Number 4, Maggie Cornelis. Number 12, Kelsey McNaughton. Number 15, Audrey Castle. Number 17, Gracie Hammer. Number 19, Kelsey Moorman. Number 21, Rory Cook. Number 22, Jenna Roach. Number 23, Kylie Mackey. And number 24, Gracie Rosengreen. Your assistant coaches, Laura Anderson, JC Zander, and Diana Slight. And now here's your starting lineup for the Boone Toreadors, leading off and playing shortstop, number 5, Emily Aids. Batting second, doing the catching, number 13, Zoe Heitschuh. Batting third and doing the pitching, number 16, Emma Dighton. Cleanup hitter for Boone, the third baseman, number 18, Lena Silverson. Batting fifth and playing left field, number 14, Victoria Lewis. Batting sixth, the designated player, number 7, Kennedy Lewis. Batting seventh at first base, number 20, Alex McDonough. Batting eighth at second base, number 1, Erin Aids. Batting in the ninth position, the center fielder, number 2, Natalie Danner. And your flex player playing in right field, number 10, Megan Ryder. Head coach for the Boone Toreadors, Erica White. Now let's meet the players and coaches from West Dubuque. Here are your non-starters. Number 6, Erica Ernzen. Number 8, Ella Meyer. Number 9, Meredith Horner. Number 14, Isabel Ernson. Number 15, Aubriana Jarding. Number 16, Bryn Walters. Number 17, Gabby Kaiser. Number 19, Paige Cates. Number 21, Caitlin Toll. Your assistant coaches, Lynn Horner, Holly Klein, Ashley Botsford. And now here's your starting lineup for the West Dubuque Bobcats. Leading off and playing center field, number 2, Sarah Horsfield. Batting second, doing the pitching, number 1, Sydney Kennedy. Batting third at first base, number 20, Abigail Kleesner. Cleanup hitter for the Bobcats, the catcher, number 4, Maddie Harris. Batting fifth at second base, number 3, Meg Bessler. Batting sixth in left field, number 11, Audrey Bierman. Batting seventh, the designated player, number 5, Maddie Heiderscheit. Batting eighth at third base, number 7, Hallie Wilgenbush. And batting in the ninth position, the shortstop, number 12, Shelby Rice. Playing in the flex position, the right fielder, number 10, Haley Wolfko. Head coach for the Bobcats, Rex Massey. Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the home plate area. Our umpires assigned to this contest by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. At first base, Paul Bird. At third base, Ron Taylor. And calling the balls and strikes, Mr. Jim Doyle. All right, who's ready for state championship softball.
We are. It is time for Class 4A. You have the introductions out of the way, and now it's time to do what you've been sitting around all day doing, the nerves building. The only thing worse is if you had the 7:30 game, which we will have in a little bit, but here's your lineup for Western Dubuque. Bierman, Horsfield in, Wolf Q in the outfield. That is Wilgenbush, Rice, Bessler, and Kleesner at first. And your battery is Maddie Harris, catcher. And pitching is Sydney Kennedy. And Kennedy's had a pretty good tournament, Laura. What does she do?
Well, she's all about location and movement, and didn't give away what she likes to throw, but she likes to locate the ball, and she's very efficient with what she throws.
An ERA of 1.65 and a record of 18-5 over 147 innings. Opponents only battling 162, and she'll hit a threshold of 200 strikeouts with her first one today. And this is the lineup that she is going to have to face. The Toreadors have been big in the 5th and 7th innings. See if they can get something started here in the 1st inning with Emily Aids, Zoe IGHSAU, Emma Dighton, Lena Silverson, and then it's Lewis, McDonough, Aids, and Danner for the Toreadors, who are not too terribly far away geographically, but what are they going to have to do for keys, Laura?
They have a motto called pass the bat, and that's trusting your teammates. If you don't get it done at the plate, go ahead and pass the bat to the person that's behind you. They're going to pick you up and have your back, and they've done that all season long. And then live in the moment. Enjoy the experience. Don't let it get too big. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. Just play your game. Do what you have done all season long that has gotten you to this ball game.
Beautiful. Friday afternoon, just a little warmer than you like, but it is still bright, clear skies. And this is what you hope to do, play on the last day of the year. As Kennedy looks in, gets that towel tucked in behind. Bobcats in their first title game. They've been in a title game before with basketball, but now this is their first softball championship. And Boone, you got to dig deep to find something back in the 60s. Maybe the boys played in the finals, but we are ready for Class 4A. First pitch coming at 5:12 on Friday, July the 23rd, 2021, and it is a ball to Emily Aids. Pitch is hit in the left, base hit. Aids takes the second one, pulls it, and there's a runner on with only 2 pitches thrown.
That's exactly how you want to start off the state tournament, with a base hit, the leadoff hitter getting on, setting the table for the powerful 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming behind her.
Mount Vernon did the same thing last game, didn't have any fear. We're swinging away. Let's see what Zoe IGHSAU can do. The catcher, first pitch swung on and fouled back into the net. Look at her numbers, 394, 5 home runs and 38 runs batted in. Kennedy winds and fires high.
And we didn't see it a whole lot in the first game. Runners on first base, moving that runner into scoring position. They have been swinging away.
And trying to steal second, and doing so. Ball goes into center field. Horsfield picks it up after the throw from Harris. Aids is down to second with a stolen base.
Rather than bunt the runner into scoring position, they decide to steal, in a good decision by Aids. She saw that ball get by her and get out into center field, but stays close to second base, didn't want to try to take another base.
IGHSAU inside, and Kennedy felt a little frustrated. She kind of flung her arm real quick after that pitch. She knew it didn't feel right after the release.
And as a pitcher, you've got to get the feel. I know you work hard and you get warmed up in the bullpen prior to the game, but if you don't have the feel in game.
Ground ball over to third will go Aids. So IGHSAU does move the runner over on a ground ball from Wilgenbush to Kleesner.
If you don't have the feel of your pitches right at the beginning of the game, you're going to fight it until you can get into that groove and that rhythm.
We'll get into Emma Dighton, and they're just going to walk her. And that's not the first time that's happened this tournament or this season, so the intentional pass, no surprise. Dighton has been dynamic this season and this tournament. Emma Dighton coming in batting .602. There's 2 on, 1 out for Solverson. Swings and misses first pitch. Lena was trying to hit a home run.
Well, and they cover up too a little bit as Dighton goes down to second base. So now she can take that big rip and that'd knock in 2.
Ground ball left side, fielded by Wilkenbush across to first, gets it out, but the Toreadors score first as Emily Aids touch home, 1-0 Boone.
Aids went right on contact. So as soon as that ball was hit into the ground, you could see her. She's halfway home. And they score the first run.
Last night, a couple of close 1-0 games. We didn't have that in the first game. We'll see what happens now for Victoria Lewis. The senior swings at the first one and misses. The 0-1 waved at. Kennedy trying to get out of this jam. On the 0-2 pitch coming to Victoria Lewis. High. And Kennedy smiling, you can see it. Trying to get Lewis to chase, testing nerves early on.
Well, you have that runner sitting down there at third base. You want to try to knock him in.
And the strikeout, Lewis swings and misses. That is 3 outs, but Boone gets a run, leaves a run.
And there was some confusion because the ball was in the dirt, but as soon as she made her way to the dugout, she was called out. She could have made the attempt to run to first. Everybody coming off the field defensively.
There's a look at the Western Dubuque huddle, and now we're going to show you the Boone defensive lineup. Victoria Lewis, Natalie Danner, and Megan Rudder in right. Solverson, Aids, and McDonough, third short to first. Zoe IGHSAU behind the plate, and Emma Dighton in the circle. Dighton was stranded at third on net, but she ran out, got her glove. Time for her to throw. What are we going to see, Laura?
She likes to throw that curveball and the change. She's got a rise ball. That change is devastating. We saw that in the semifinals, and she used that to her advantage.
She also liked that curveball, and she said that was really working for her in the semifinal. And this is what she's going to have to face for an order from the Bobcats, who are 34-7. Sarah Horsfield, Sydney Kennedy, Abigail Kleesner, Maddie Harris, Meg Bessler, Audrey Bierman, Maddie Heiderscheid, Haley Wilgenbush, and Shelby Rice. So your order for Western Dubuque. Laura?
They need to limit Dighton's production, and they did. They just gave her the free pass, even though they did get the run out of it, but they were not going to let her do the damage. Location, location, location. It's all about where Dighton puts her pitches. She's got to hit the spots. They're going to call a good game for her, and she's very good at hitting the glove.
First pitch is right back to Dighton. Fields throws, 1 out. Emily Aids, or Sarah Horsfield makes it easy. 1 up, 1 out.
I think
go ahead,
both
Kennedy.
of these teams are aggressive at the plate. And there you get a good look at that off-speed pitch right on that outside part of the plate. But both of these teams are going to be aggressive at the plate. They're going to try to make some things happen early on in this ball game.
The pitch to Kennedy. High.
For this Boone team, 7 seniors on this team. It's been a work in progress that they have played together for a long time. And they are looking to try to end their run at Boone with a state title.
1-2. Dighton looks in. Hit to right, but at the right fielder Rudder for the out.
just didn't complete the swing. She just didn't get enough of it to send it out of the ballpark, and defensively, they had her played perfectly.
Ryer makes the play, and the swing and miss by Abigail Kleesner.
She's really improved her hitting from a year ago. Hit 139 a season ago, hitting up around 350 this season, and has been a nice surprise for this team and hitting in the number 3 spot. So that tells you how much she's improved her approach at the plate.
And not another one of those players that doesn't use batting gloves. The 0-2 coming.
Seen a few of those here in the tournament.
Did she go?
The appeal from Jim Doyle to Paul Bird. Paul Bird says no. Jim Doyle says okay. 1-2.
1-2.
Swung on and missed. Strike 3. First strikeout for Dighton is the 3rd out of the inning. Neither of the first 2 batters could get on, and neither could the 3rd. So 1-2-3 go the Bobcats. 1-0 Boone. And the Class 4A was kind of wide open to a point. We thought maybe Winterset, the defending champ, number 1. They got by Oskaloosa, a great game early on. Carlisle and Boone, well, the Toreadors won that, and then Boone wins over Winterset in a good game. Western Dubuque sent North Polk home, and ADM beat Clear Creek Amana, and then the Bobcats beat ADM, had to change pitchers there. They got hot in the middle of that game, and that's how we got into this 4A final. And we expected Western Dubuque to bring a good crowd, and we expected Boone to bring a good crowd. There's the Bobcats. They've had some success in boys sports, and there's the Boone. They're supporting the girls in Boone, and the Bobcats are, we've seen them in basketball. Great run they had there a few years back. A lot of those players went to play college. But for Boone, this is new territory.
It is, and it's exciting. And, you know, one of the things that Coach Erica White said, I wish every Iowa girl could experience Fort Dodge, because it is an exciting time, and they have just had a really nice run getting the opportunity to play for the first state title for Boone High School.
You will get a chance to hear Erica White, coach for Boone. And she's cheered on the squad. This is Kennedy Lewis, swings and misses.
Well, a former player herself and a former state champ. Her team at Johnston High School won the state title, and she said, you know, I wasn't a starter, but I had a significant role on that team. I knew what my role was. I worked in the bullpen. I got the pitchers ready, and I think that's probably where she developed her understanding of coaching and the love of the game, and has brought that knowledge and that success here to Boone.
The 1-2 is popped up. Drifting foul. About 5 feet out of play. It'll stay 1-2. White is a teacher in the Gilbert district, but has coached as an assistant at Indianola, Ames, and now the head coach here at Boone.
And just a lot of enthusiasm. And I think it rolls off onto the girls. I think the girls play with a lot of enthusiasm and just have fun out there, and that's a big part of the game.
The Toreadors with some of the best uniforms in the tournament. There's a lot of good uniforms this year. 1A, 2A had some really good ones. These pinstripes.
Love the pinstripes.
1-2-2 is swung on and missed, and Kennedy Lewis is out on strikes. Second strikeout of the game for Sydney Kennedy, as Kennedy climbed the ladder with that one.
Boy, you could see from where that left her hand to where it finished. Talk about a jump in a pitch in a rise ball.
Right. Coach Massey says, I got 2 pitches. One that goes up, one that goes down. What more do you need?
Yeah, a former men's fast pitch pitcher himself. He goes, yeah, 2 pitches, one up, one down. That's all you need. Maybe a little off speed in there. And I think that's how he calls the game. for his pitchers. I think he says, let's go high, let's go low, let's go inside, let's go outside.
Another closely guarded state secret is what kind of pitches Kennedy throws and when we call what we call.
Everybody's very secretive this week. He did give us some challenges, though, and I didn't have the opportunity to look some of those things up. He said, oh, there's a good story about that, but I'll let you look it up. And I never had the opportunity to look up the story about him playing fast pitch.
Oh, I might have found a few little tidbits of information that we'll share as when he gets back out there, and we can show his picture while to help narrate our story along. Alex McDonough here, down 0-2. Uses the bat to clean the dirt from the cleats. Digs in. Lays off the rise ball.
That's going to be a big part of this game. Try to stay off the rise ball. Have the discipline at the plate to keep it in the zone. And she didn't. She didn't lay off of that. And it looks so good coming in, and that thing just has great movement.
Because as a hitter, what are you thinking first when the pitch is made?
Well, you're trying to locate, you're looking for it out of her hand right at that hip level and trying to figure out what kind of spin. That's hard to do, but you've got to pick it up right away and make that adjustment at the plate. But when you see it coming out of her hands and it looks belt high and it gets to you and it's shoulder high, that's tough to lay off that pitch.
Aaron Aids down 0-1, swung on, up the middle base hit. Aaron Aids is aboard, the freshman. And it wasn't right on the fat part of the bat, but she got enough of it.
Enough to just sneak it by Kennedy, who really didn't have the opportunity to get in good fielding position because it got back to her so quickly.
Danner, the 9th place batter. First pitch swung on miss, right in a tough place to hit, up and in. That one misses. Hit a ball and a strike.
Kind of look at Danner as their second leadoff. She's in that 9 position, and look to her to turn the lineup over back to the top.
Pops it up right side, first base person. Kleesner has it, makes the grab, and the Toreadors strand 1. They've left 2 in this game.
Great job. Hey, it's fun, isn't it? This is a freaking blast. I could not ask for anything more to be fun to be doing on a Friday in July, all right? Hey, let's go. Let's go run. Let's go.
Coach Rex Massey.
Thank you.
As they break and head in, we need to show you one of the new additions to Fort Dodge.
Thank you.
You're familiar with the Floyd of Rosedale, the trophy that goes between Iowa and Minnesota for football. Well, it has a history here in Fort Dodge. It was a friendly bet between the governors of Iowa and Minnesota in the 1930s. Floyd was from Rosedale Farms, and then later Floyd became a trophy. Now, this is the new piece of art. It's 15 feet long and 14 feet tall. Installed in Fort Dodge this summer. And Laura, do pictures do this justice?
You know, you do, yes, but you do have to drive by and see it because it is pretty cool. And you see it, it's not like you're gonna miss it because it's right there. And there's a big water park right next to it. I think it's called Rosedale Park, where the farm used to be located, I believe. And it is a pretty neat art structure.
Harris puts it in play, and the throw by Aids gets past McDonough back to the fence. And it's going to be like a double for Harris, but it'll be a single with an error, most likely. Or probably actually an error all around.
Aids did a really good job of scooping that ball with the good soft hands, took her time, and that ball just went, sailed on her to the outfield side of first base.
And we'll have a courtesy runner here.
14, courtesy for the catcher.
Isabel Emsen. Ernzen, sorry. It's not dark yet here, but that font is small, Laura.
Really small.
I'm going to play it off on that. The RN looked like an M. All right, so the Bobcats have a runner on. Meg Besler at the plate. First pitch popped up on the infield. Drifting back, tough play coming in to make the catch is Danner from center. And again, those high hit balls, which we saw in game 1, playing havoc in game 2.
Good communication. Danner coming in from behind, avoiding the collision.
It'll be Audrey Bierman, and that first pitch is high. Bierman, a .352 hitter. She gets towards the back of the box on Dighton. Runs up on it to slap at it. Called strike.
She is that slapper, and so Boone has brought the corners in, or at least third base. Over at first, McDonough playing back even with the bag, so Aids shading a little bit closer to third base.
Slaps at it, fielded by Solverson. There'll be no play at first because Ernzen was running the entire time and likely would have scored if the throw to get Bierman would have gone to first, but Solverson holds it.
Good job of just putting this in play, and Solverson barehands it, but decides not to make that throw, and you had the speed going down the line, and Bierman, who is a state track champ.
So Maddie Heiderscheit, the junior, has a chance to put her team on the board, and if it goes far enough, maybe give them the lead. Runners at first and third, Ernzen at third. Bierman at first, Heiderscheit at the plate. She's the designated player, shows bunt, pulls it back. Throw to second, it's cut off, no throw. Aaron Aids came in and they executed that play the way they wanted to. Both teams did.
Got the runner down to second, but they defensively did exactly what they wanted to.
Hit towards left, should be playable for a sacrifice fly. The throw home, great on time. The tag, missed! Ball went under Heitschuh's glove, rolled away, and Ernzen scores on the sac fly by Heiderscheit. Let's see that one again. That was a great throw.
On a line. And just up the line a little bit. I think if she fields it cleanly, she can lean back, dive back, and maybe get the runner.
Hit by Wilgenbush, fielded by Emily Aids to get the out, but the damage done. Western Dubuque gets a run to even it up at 1.
Get more. Get back in line. 3, 1, 2, 3. Get it back in line. Hey, keep going, ladies. Come on. Farther on that 6 girl.
What?
You want me up farther?
Yeah, and maybe come up like 2 more steps and then take like 1 step off the line. Yeah. Just read it, yeah.
All right, there's Erica White and Lena Solverson having a conversation, but let's take a look at Sydney Kennedy. Super slow-mo.
Yeah, with this super slow-mo, you get a really good idea of how she spins it and that push-off from the rubber. We've seen these pitchers get that good leg drive to give them the momentum and then the spin and the grip on the ball.
Thank you, Darren Klaus, for that look. And the crew. They had 2 games yesterday, 1 game today so far, game 2. As I see that the Centennial Jaguars have arrived, they'll be in game 3 today. Centennial and some other team that might be known in town, Fort Dodge. Around town, that has been the talk of the community, is Fort Dodge in the championship game. They were here last year. But they get to play the primetime game under the lights at 7:30. We'll have it live here on Iowa PBS. Ground ball over to Rice, back to Kleesner. And Aids is retired 6-3. And remember, you can watch all of these games on statewide Iowa PBS. You can also watch it online at iowapbs.org. And check out the replays on the YouTube channel if you miss it. And some players, Laura, watch their previous title games. That'll be something we kind of talk about in the third game tonight. Popped up, drifting towards the line, and reaching over the fence to grab it and pull it back into play is Wilgenbush. What a play!
That's why you never, ever give up on a pop fly. That ball was sailing out, and I think the wind pushes it, holds it up, and Wilgenbush goes up against the fence as far as she can, extends as far as those arms will reach, and able to pull it in.
Great camera work there and slowing it down on replay. So this is about as good of a scenario you can have when you face Emma Dighton. Bases loaded, 2 outs.
And you have to believe they're going to pitch pretty carefully to her as well, because one swing of the bat would give them a run. She's got the pop and the power.
The 1-0. Dighton, kind of the heart and soul double 1-2 punch of this team. Great pitcher, great hitter. Athletic background in her family. Grandfather, Rick Wolko, head of the Iowa High School Athletic Association for a long time. She's got family that was in sports. She has an aunt who's both an aunt and will be an assistant AD in the 5A game, Holly Wolko Anderson. Popped up, back into the net. Dighton, you know, there are some we talked about it in the first game, and I'm going to say the same thing about some of these players in the next game, but Emma Dighton, just an incredible conversation you can have with her about the game of softball.
I think all these players just understand the game, are invested in it, and they want to learn about not only the game and how to play it and strategy and that kind of thing, but they want to learn about the history of Iowa girls softball as well.
The 3-2 to Dighton. Popped up on the infield. Rice is camped under. Makes the grab for a long enough time and almost loses the handle. Whew.
That's more than a can of corn right there. That's
a can of corn that cracked open.
Yeah, that's a major league pop-up right there, but able to hold it in.
Neither team really spending a lot of time talking yet. They're still kind of just figuring things out. We're trying to figure out what Emma Dighton looks like in super slow-mo.
Again, good leg drive. Ooh. Look at that arm whip.
I was just going to say, yes.
Yeah. Able to turn it over to get the curveball, to get the spin on it. Also going to get a little bit different arm angle with the change and the grip on the change.
Dighton will continue her college career at DMAC. 3 Boone players are going to play at DMAC. And so are one of the opponents for Western Dubuque. So that's kind of fun. And of course, when I start down the line of the story, I lose who it was.
It is 16.
No, sorry.
It is, it's Sydney Kennedy. So DMAC, Bob Ligori is getting 2 pitchers in the Class 4A title game, again.
2 really good pitchers. Coach Ligori does a great job of scouting the state of Iowa and pulls in a lot of quality kids into that DMAC program, and they are good year in and year out.
Well, there's a look at Rex Massey. And if you do a deep enough search on him, you're going to find he's from Warsaw, Illinois. But he pitched his first game as a pitcher when he was 5 in softball. He is a former member of the Bloomington Builders fast pitch team. Played a lot of softball. Some family. Softball is a big part of his life, but it's something he has not done for a long time. As the first pitch to Bryn Walters. And now the next one is hit well to left. Back towards the wall, going for it is Lewis to make the grab.
This one traveled a long way, and Lewis kept retreating, had to pull it in over the shoulder.
So Bryn Walters is out, and it's the top of the order. Slapped at it, past the diving second, but making the grab at play. An incredible defensive web gem. Wow, watch Aaron Aids again.
Little punch, and what a flat out, just all out dive, get down, get dirty, smother that ball, and backhands it over to first base.
We may have to see that one again and again and again. Show that for laying out.
You're good.
What a play.
Total effort, total effort, total giving up of the body, not wanting that ball to be a base hit.
Sydney Kennedy, her second at bat. Flied out to right, back in the first. She's up 1-0. The pitch from Dighton. Kennedy lays off the high one, the rise. Well hit, and that's going to get down and go all the way to the wall. Kennedy digging for second. The throw, not in time. Stand-up double, Sydney Kennedy.
That's time.
Just waited back on that.
Okay.
Kept the hands back, was able to drive it.
You got it? 6 courtesy.
Now Erica Ernzen will run. We had Isabel earlier. And now Erica. So Abigail Kleesner will bat, the third place hitter for Western Dubuque. And that looked like the curveball. It had some spin, but it didn't quite get enough of the plate. And some days a pitch might not be there that was there the day before. The 2-0.
Good ball.
Foul ball.
In the semifinal game, Emma Dighton told us that she really warmed up her curveball in that ball game, knowing what the lineup was going to be and present to her. And so if she knows what the scouting report is, she will work a little bit extra hard on certain pitches when she's warming up in the bullpen, just to make sure she has that touch and the spin and has the confidence to throw it.
Kleesner up 3-1. That one's high. And it's a walk. So now it'll be first and second for the cleanup hitter. Harris, who reached on an error and scored the Bobcats' only run, or her courtesy runner, her spot in the lineup did. First pitch misses as Heitschuh tried to frame it for Jim Doyle. Didn't like what he saw. Ball.
Well, and I'm not sure Emma Dighton really liked the call either. I think she steered in a little bit longer, thought she might have had the outside part of it.
Hit to left, it's gonna drop right in front of Lewis. Ernzen's gonna go and score, and Kleesner's gonna go to third. Harris is in with a hit.
Time.
Lewis was playing deep and could not get in quick enough to get underneath that ball. It drops in front, sneaks by her. And that allows Kleesner to come up another base.
And Dighton's just struggling to get that third out.
Same courtesy for the catcher.
Isabel Ernzen courtesy running again. They're going to call that an error on Lewis on that last play. Single, then an error. Got it. Sometimes getting things to me is like landing a plane, and I don't always get everything right, so thank you. The 0-1 is popped up high, but this is anything but easy. Aids there, grabs it, gets the third out, but not before. The Bobcats get another run to take the 2-1 lead here in the Class 4A championship game.
On Icon. How do you capture and sum up a concert with one image?
I'm a rock fan. I want to see that picture and I want to hear it. I want to feel it.
I really felt like I was part of the band.
It's kind of like being a war photographer. You're ready for battle.
You really are stealing a frame out of life and saying, this is worth 1,000 words.
Best job in the world.
Tune in or stream Friday at 10 p.m.
1-2-2 for Boone, 2-3-0 for Western Dubuque. Boone scored first. Western Dubuque scratched one across in the second, third. Every inning has seen a run. Let's see what happens in the fourth as we go. As Solverson swings and misses and the Western Dubuque fans let her hear it. Passionate fan bases, they are up on their feet. So are the Boone fans. And that is ripped down the left field line. Foul over the head of Ron Taylor. Solverson, Victoria Lewis, and Kennedy Lewis. If anybody gets on, Alex McDonough. That's 4-5-6 for Boone as they bat here in the fourth against Sydney Kennedy. Swung on and missed. The rise ball seems to be working quite well for Kennedy, who records strikeout number 4.
She has used that to her advantage. That's been her out pitch in this ball game, and Boone has not laid off of it. They have continued to go after it.
I think it was Coach Courtney Darrow of Newell Fonda who said last night to her girls, if you don't swing at the rise ball, they won't be throwing it to you. You'll get a better pitch to hit. But if you keep swinging at the rise ball, they're going to keep throwing it.
That's absolutely right. Once you show a pattern of going after that pitch up in the zone and can't catch up to it, they're going to continue to climb the ladder and keep going higher and higher. And you have to just be able to will yourself to let that pitch go.
It's that pitch in the eyes. It's the up pitch, the baseball pitch that's high. I think I can get it. You just can't get the hands around quick enough to it. But then throw in the movement that the rise has. She laid off it there.
It's just so inviting because it looks like it's right there in your wheelhouse that you can drive it and drive it out of the ballpark, but then it just seems to jump right over the top of your bat.
Ripped to left, base hit. That was a rocket by Victoria Lewis. And there's a Toreador on with one out in the fourth. She turned on this one.
She did. She turned on it, and she was able to get on top of it and extend, and it was a rope getting out into left field.
So Kennedy Lewis, she's been known to put the ball in play. She's also done some pitching for the Toreadors this year.
She's been coming up big for them lately. She makes things happen, just puts the ball in play and makes the defense do their work.
Pops it up and out of play. Maddie Harris gives chase. The 1-1. Ground ball, foul. Runner at first is Victoria Lewis, her sister Kennedy, the designated player. That ball is bounced in front of the plate. I mean, yes, for safety's sake, they wear the mask, but if you could see, you can kind of get a sense of Kennedy's very expressive on the mound. Lots of smiles, like when something doesn't go right, or she's like, I tried to get away with one. And the rise ball is hit out of play.
I think both these pitchers in this ball game have a mental preparation for this game, and they also have a little bit of a loose side to them as well, a relaxed side, a relaxed nature that helps keep them in ball games.
Well hit to left, over the head of Bierman, going for third, the throw, not in time. Second and third, one out after a hit by Kennedy Lewis. She sends Victoria, run Victoria, run.
This ball gets down the line, and you're right. Victoria Lewis, I think she maybe held up just a little bit to see if it was gonna be caught, and saw eventually that it was gonna sail to the fence, and got on her horse and got going, and it was close over there at third base.
The first baseman, Alex McDonough, bats with one out, and runners both in scoring position. First pitch, laid off that one. The Toreadors, that's the doors on the unit, or on the uniform. Pitch to McDonough is high. Boone, which is on Highway 30, west of Ames. Western Dubuque is west of Dubuque, the city, on Highway 20.
McDonough is a hitter that can go to the right side. Does a good job of going with the pitch, and if they try to pitch her on the outside part, she will take it that way. That's exactly what you want to do in this situation with the runner on third. Try to go the other way with that pitch.
McDonough, not sure if she's swinging at 3-0, but we'll find out. She's taking on the get me over strike. McDonough struck out in her last appearance. First base is open, but they're gonna pitch to her. Swung on and missed, great placement up and in.
That was just a challenge from Kennedy. Just coming after her, saying, here's my best pitch, see if you can hit it.
3-2.
Popped up right side. Right in foul territory by 3 feet. No one was covering the plate. Could have been a tag score, but McDonough pops out. Kleesner fields it. And that could have been dangerous.
Harris leaves home plate, coming over to help just in case. You could see her right there in the picture. Nobody covering home, and she quickly gets back.
Rex Massey calls timeout.
Okay, we're 8-9 in the lineup, 8-9 in the lineup, all right?
Hang on just 1 second.
This girl, I don't know what she got a hit last time this year. What'd she hit?
Yeah,
up a little bit. Okay, up a little. All right. She will chase a lot too. Okay, so if we can get a 3 or 4, try to get a drop ball for a strike. Okay, and then get her to chase. All right, she'll chase a lot. All right, but again, nothing down the middle on this girl. The next girl I know we can get out. All right, so make this girl work for it. All right. All right, here we go. Hey, 2 down. Make a play. Let's
so
go.
Rex Massey, not exactly a veteran at the state tournament. It's only his first year coaching, but he did know that he was going to be wearing a microphone, and Erica White knew she was wearing a microphone. Her coaches are mic'd. Her home plate umpire is mic'd. We're wearing microphones, but it's kind of fun to listen in to what they have to say more than what I have to say. I listen to what Laura says.
I like listening to them.
Too. Get a little insight there, and if you're a young coach or aspiring into coaches, first pitch strike to Aaron Aids. Listen to what these veteran coaches say. The state tournament sometimes is about getting from good to great. You figure out, swung on and missed by Aids. They chase another drop. Some coaches start networking and they figure out, you know what, next year let's play. Or, hey, could you come to our tournament? Could you be in this classic? Let's do a home and home. All about elevating their competition. Oh, foul ball. As Aaron Aids just kind of put the bat out and just wanted a better pitch. But, you know, Western Dubuque, we mentioned about their conference. They're in the Mississippi Valley. They're new to that conference. They lost to City High, North Scott, Kennedy, Hempstead, Jefferson, and Prairie. They were unranked to start the season. But they are looking to be on the top of Class 4A, and they lead right now on a strikeout by Sidney Kennedy.
Here we go. Sorry, who never stand
It's
behind.
exactly what they talked about. Go low and then make her chase, and they got the strikeout.
How about that? That's a great inning, right? Hey, let's score another run. Let's go. Whatever it takes, right? Anybody will bunt. Anybody will do whatever it takes to get on. Let's go. Hey, if we have fake bunt steal, make sure you get all the way back in the box, and don't worry about pulling the bat back. We'll take a strike, interfere with that catcher, all right? Let's go.
Well, Laura, you were driving around Fort Dodge earlier this week, and I saw this project before it started. I hadn't seen it completed, but this is the largest art mural we have in Iowa, and it is depicting these are real people, and the old grain elevator there used as a canvas, and that is a 360 look around the drone. There has been a program on Iowa PBS where we flew around the state. You can always find out more about it if you go to iowapbs.org, which if you're watching the game, you're already here, so just open up another tab. Go check it out.
It's pretty cool. All the things that they've done up here in Fort Dodge are just really neat additions to this community.
Which is getting ready to host the great annual bike ride across Iowa. Monday. We leave and all the riders come in. One year we all were here at the same time.
I remember that. That's a lot of people here in Fort Dodge for the one day.
Right. Audrey Bierman, Maddie Heiderscheid, Hallie Wilgenbush slaps it right at Emily Aids. Bierman's out.
You know, in baseball, we see these teams doing the shift on certain hitters. That's exactly what Boone did. They were playing in, they shifted over, and that ball was hit right at Aids, who had come over and filled into that gap between short and third.
Swung on and missed, goes off of IGHSAU and Jim Doyle.
Yep, I'm good.
Maddie had the sac fly to score the Bobcats, to drive in the Bobcats' first run, which scored Isabel Ernzen. The 0-1 now is low. Swung on and missed. Heiderscheid. Now in the hole, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out, base is empty. That pitch goes out.
Boy, and you could see how IGHSAU just kept creeping out, creeping out. Just go a little bit further. See if you can get her to chase after a bad pitch.
Low ball is hit to the center fielder, Danner, for the second out.
At first, I wasn't sure that Danner was going to get there. I thought it was hit shallow enough, but she was able to cover a lot of ground out there in center field and able to haul that one in with a little leap at the end.
So Wilgenbush, who started the year with some injuries, health-wise, and has battled back and has gotten great as the season progressed. Pops this one up, gonna be a tough play. And it'll land between Silverson and IGHSAU. Wilgenbush flied out back in the second when she batted. Bats here in the fourth. She's down 0-2. IGHSAU sets out, chases it, throws down to first to just make sure it is another strikeout for Dighton, and the Toreadors get out of that, and they come up to bat here.
All right, hey,
in their half of the fifth.
Keep putting it in play, okay? Now the biggest thing we have to do is when we get runners in scoring positions, we got to connect, okay? We got to connect there, okay?
Big Mama Head. Get your pitch. Yeah, get your pitch. Big Mama Heads on 3, 1, 2, 3. Big Mama Heads.
Go. Hey, we scored in the fifth.
Let's see what Boone can do right after this.
Let's go. We can do it now.
Hi, I'm Bill Riley. One of the most entertaining traditions at the Iowa State Fair is the Talent Championships. Iowa PBS will be there again this year to cover the magic, excitement, and fantastic talents of young Iowans from across our state. Prepare to be impressed. Tune in Sunday, August 22nd at 8 p.m. for the Bill Riley Talent Championships, only on statewide Iowa PBS.
Farm animals. There's a lot more than meets the eye. From the exceptional intelligence of goats to the dynamic personalities of cows.
They are as different from each other as people are.
Discover these familiar animals in a completely new way. The surprising secret life of farm animals.
Tune in or stream Monday evening at 9 on Iowa PBS.
Let's play some softball here. We go to the top of the fifth, 2-1. Western Dubuque in front of Boone. 9-1-2, Natalie Danner, Emily Aids, and Zoe Heitschuh do up. First pitch swung on and popped up right side, foul, right on the line, and a foot in foul territory. Sydney Kennedy comes in, says, I'll take it.
It would have been a tough play for Harris behind the plate. She had got rid of the mask and was kind of turning around, backpedaling. Kennedy comes in, calls her off.
The fifth and seventh innings have been big for Boone. They're going to have to try to get something going here. They're down 2-1. Pitch is ground, pulled out by Wilgenbush, across, scooped up by Kleesner, out, number 2.
Good glove work, Wilgenbush. Just sticks the glove down. She is going into the gap towards the shortstop position, sticks the glove out, and kind of gets a little bit of a gift. It hopped up right into her glove, and she makes a good throw over, and a nice save by Kleesner, who digs it out of the dirt.
Well hit to left. Bierman goes out, back, makes the grab. I think that's a 4-pitch inning for Kennedy, and Boone goes 1, 2, 3. And they trail 2-1, and it wasn't easy for Bierman. The Bobcats will bat after this.
Meet one of the most dazzling performers in blues history, Buddy Guy.
They said, man, he is wild. Because when I get happy, I'm going to shout.
Feel the blues and lose them too with Buddy Guy. The blues chase the blues away.
You know, born to play the guitar.
On American Masters.
Tune in or stream Tuesday at 8 p.m.
He was a phenomenal entertainer. He was a phenomenal player.
I don't care who it is. If they're going to pick up the guitar and they're going to play rock and roll, they're going to start with Chuck Berry.
I wanted to sing like Nat Cole, with lyrics like Louis Jordan, with the swing of Benny Goodman, and with the soul of Muddy Waters.
He'll always be considered the king of rock and roll.
Tune in or stream Tuesday at 7 p.m.
We're back here in Iowa, PBS statewide coverage of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Softball Tournament. This is Class 4A. Boone got one in the first, had 4 hits, 2 errors. Western Dubuque scored in the second and third, 2-3-0. The Boone fans were not standing very long to cheer for their team batting. It was a 4-pitch inning. And Western Dubuque now Looking to add one of the Rex runs. That's an insurance run. Rex is an insurance agent, so he calls them Rex runs. Let's get another one of those. I'm sure he'd want one here. They're up 2-1. As the first pitch to Bryn Walters is a strike. Walters, Horsfield, and Kennedy due up. Ground ball, oh, right up the middle. Dighton grabs it, throws across to first. Keeping her foot on the bag the whole time was McDonough. Great play in the circle.
What an athletic play by Dighton. The way she finished after that pitch, she had to come clear back across her body and backhand that. Stabs at it, able to glove it and get the out.
As coach calls her the absolute superstar, Sarah Horsfield. Leads off the lineup, and she is the first bet on the lineup, and first pitch is a strike. She was 2 for 3 versus North Polk, 2 for 4 against ADM with a double and 3 RBIs. She's definitely playing like she wants to be on that all-tournament team. Gets it one past Aaron Aids, who is in to guard against the slap, but this time Horsfield was able to get it over the glove. And that'll bring in Sydney Kennedy, another one of those great hitters. She's the daughter of the Dubuque County Sheriff, so be careful.
Good person to know.
Yeah.
Oh.
First pitch to Sydney is out.
And going back to Horsfield, you're right, she is a superstar and leads the state in runs. She's a table setter. We just saw it happen right there. Leads the state in hits and singles. So from that leadoff position, she is constantly getting on base, setting things up for the hitters behind her.
I was trying to get a sense earlier in the week after Western Dubuque's quarterfinal game about, what was different? What was the difference with Coach Massey? I mean, first year, was it anything on him? And they didn't really attribute it. The pitch is a strike to Kennedy. They just kind of realized as a program we needed to lift more and work more in the off season. We were just tired of not winning as much as we could. We felt we could take the next step, and here they are, leading in the state championship game in the 5th inning, and that ball is going to get away from IGHSAU, and Horsfield's going to steal second base.
That was a tough pitch for IGHSAU to have to be able to come up and throw. It was spinning down in the zone, and she could not pick it clean to be able to make the throw in the attempt down to second base.
Kennedy, that pitch is out of the zone. Now, one of the things that Coach Massey said he did for his team to prepare them for an opponent is to mimic the other team's pitcher. He said, yeah, we had a lefty in our program that looked like the ADM pitcher, as Kennedy waves and says, that's my bad, coach. And I said, you got somebody for Dighton, I assume? He goes, yeah, we do. We got a lot of pitchers in our program. Yeah, good pitch.
Yeah, really good pitch, good location. And yeah, he talked about that, being able to mimic the next opponent's pitcher and see, so you can get some looks and get into a rhythm and see what's going to happen when you're at the plate. And, one of the other things that Coach Massey did when he came in, he said they needed to cut down on strikeouts and change the swings of a lot of these players. He said, not everybody needs to hit a home run. We're looking singles, doubles, putting base hits out there, getting on base, and he's all about focusing in on the hands and the eyes, picking up the ball out of the hand of the pitcher right at the hip, those kinds of things. And I think it really has helped them in their approach when they're hitting.
Abby Kleesner, his timeout is called. IGHSAU goes out just to check things over with Dighton. Cut down on strikeouts. In the quarterfinal game against North Polk, Western Dubuque had no extra base hits. And they won that game by a score of 5-2.
You just have to have the timely hits, be smart on the base paths when you get on, put a few hits together. So if you hit 4 singles in a row, you're going to score some runs.
The 3-1 from Dighton is swung on and missed, and the count goes full. And in that game against ADM, Western Dubuque, their 3-4-5 went hitless. Now today, 3 is 0 for 1 with a walk. Harris is 1 for 2 with a hit. And again, Bessler is 0 for 2. So we talked about bottom of the order sometimes, and at the state tournament, and especially in the championship game, it's not always the superstar. Walk for the second time for Kleesner. 2 out for Boone, trying to get that 3rd out, and they have to face Maddie Harris.
Harris is a good contact hitter, so you got to knock everything down. You got to force at any one of the bases. Just try to keep it in the infield or rely on Dighton to maybe get the strikeout here.
Harris from the left side. First pitch strike. As the sun starts to get a little bit longer and create a little harder views of some things. Dighton trying to find a way to keep her team in this game, get out of this jam. 2 on, 2 out. Here in the Bobcat 5th. The pitch to Maddie Harris, out of the strike zone.
Well, the last thing you want to do is load them up. You want to make them earn it. And you know that Western Dubuque is a good hitting team.
Well, and Harris has a little DNA as well on her favor. Her brother Cal plays baseball at Ole Miss. Pretty good football player too. He was the quarterback when they won the 3A football title in 19. Popped up left side, heading foul, just off the reach of Emily Aids. Covered a lot of ground in a short amount of time.
Well, she really did. Got a good jump on it and just out of the reach of Aids, but what a great effort.
3-2.
Maddie Harris digs back in, left foot, now right foot. Waves the bat on the shoulder. Swings, puts it again, almost the exact same spot. This time it's gonna be 5 feet to the other side and enough to score a run. Horsfield comes around. It's now 3-1 Western Dubuque. On a hit by Maddie Harris.
And that one, she just fought that pitch off. And that was the best that she could do with it. Great piece of hitting. Just enough of it to drop it into no man's land. A little parachute that dropped right into left field.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, she's gone up in the air twice. Once to you, once to Natalie, but it was nothing much beyond that infield. Okay, well, all right, we got 2 outs. We'll just finish it. Okay, stay here. Okay, ignore the outside distractions and let's finish it right here. Okay. All right, let's go.
Score anybody.
3-1-3, 1-2-3, boom. Here we go, ladies. Natalie, that one between you and Aaron, right here in the air.
I asked Coach White, who do you take your coaching cues from? She says, yeah, my time at Indianola. She did that Stacy Evans, Mentor. Jeff Lamb, she credited, who was her college coach at Marshalltown. Now he's at the University of Dubuque. And she goes, I got Bob Liguri in my backyard. Pretty good DNA right there.
Pretty good person
3.
to rely on.
You know, Stacy Evans, we had her in the championship game. Golly, it's probably been 4 years already. Ground ball to Aids, up over, out. And the rally ends, but not before Western Dubuque adds one of them Rex runs.
Hey, Okay, here's the time to
it's-
believe, okay? Believe right here. There's still a lot of ball game, but the biggest thing is we got to get our pitches, okay? Let's go deep in the count, keep fighting, and let's get after it, okay? Break the egg.
Well, it's been a game of hits, kind of mini, kind of big, kind of timely. Boone got started with Emily Aids in the first with a hit. She would score on Dighton. And then Western Dubuque would score in the second. Maddie Harris would get on, and then Isabel Ernzen would score on the sacrifice play by Maddie Heiderscheit. And then Western Dubuque again on just a bloop right there in front of left. And that's how we stand 3-1. Runs scored in the third and in the fifth. Kennedy scored, or her spot in the lineup. It was Erica Ernzen. So it's just been a little bit here and a little bit there, but we're down to the final 6 outs for each team here, Laura. You heard Coach White. What'd you think of what she had to say?
Well, she said, got to make Kennedy work, get deep in the count, got to make some things happen, need base runners at this point, and put the pressure on the defense. Be confident at the plate. They were able to get that run to start the ball game. They know that they can hit Kennedy. Just got to put them together.
Dighton was intentionally walked in the first. Popped out in the third. Bats again with the bases empty. Best time to hit one, or face her, so she can only hit one out and score one run. And in the semifinal, she hit one that was a rocket to right that was maybe 6 inches from being out.
Yeah, hit right below the yellow covering on the top of the fence.
Missing again is Kennedy. Dighton said, I've got the respect of rival coaches. Talking about what Steve Corcoran did to her. They played in that conference, and that's something when other coaches know exactly what you're doing and what you can do. And Dighton, again, with a walk. It'll be up to Silverson. Not in a bunting situation here, is she?
I don't think so here. I think you got to utilize those outs as well as you can. You don't want to sacrifice here. And Silverson can hit a little bit. She's a good gap hitter, and so I think you take your shots this way rather than moving that runner.
She had 3 career bunts, and the third one was a squeeze, and they all came this year. And it was a big one in that semifinal game.
Yeah, how about that? Asking a player that has not bunted until this year, senior year, asking her to put down a suicide squeeze at a crucial time in that ball game, and she performed it and executed it.
She had a double in her next appearance, and that was good for 3 RBI. She said, state is fun. And she says, I was shaking before the game. I'm still shaking after the game. She's got to put that out of her mind right now. 2-2 is Kennedy, keeping Silverson around. Silverson 0 for 2, ground out and a strikeout. Dighton at first.
She's a gap hitter, doubles hitter, 8th and 4A in doubles.
Dighton runs the throw, not in time. Good throw right on time, just not quite there at the right time. The pitch from Kennedy, ripped foul, and out of play. And there's a look at Sydney Kennedy trying to get out of this situation with Silverson.
Nothing seems to rattle her. She's just pretty even keel in the circle.
Swung on and missed. They'll throw down to first, and it will go out, but Advancing to third is Dighton, so you could say the strikeout was successful and that it moved the runner across.
A productive strikeout, I guess, because you do move that runner up to third base. Now a passed ball could allow a run to score. But Harris behind the plate has been a pretty good backstop.
She has. She absolutely has. Victoria Lewis batting now. Single to left, her last time up. Trying to get that run home any way possible, to at least get it close.
And it looks like defensively on the infield, they're playing normal depth. So maybe thinking that they'd give the run up for the out.
Victoria Lewis up 3-0. Takes on the pitch, 3-1.
There are times as a hitter that you just want to not take that 3-0 pitch and just swing at it because you know they're going to groove it, but it's a great pitch right there. But in this situation, you probably don't have as much free rein at the plate than you would earlier in the ballgame.
And now if you're Kennedy, can you be a little risky with a pitch?
I think you can. She's worked back to full.
Hit towards center. Here comes the throw home. Dighton trying to tag the throw. The tag is applied out at the plate. It was shallow. Horsfield stumbled just a little bit, but it almost was to her advantage because her momentum was going forward.
This is the kind of play that vaults you into championship status. What a great job. Basket catch by Horsfield out in center field, and the throw is spot on. You're right, all the momentum coming in towards the play. Great job by Harris to get up, receive that ball, make the tag, hang on, and finish off that double play and get out of the inning.
And Dighton was way out, but was able to reach back trying to avoid that tag.
I get one in water.
Ooh.
One in water.
Great play. So we talked about Horsfield as an absolute superstar. Well, you talk about vaulting her forward, Laura. That is absolutely one of those great plays.
Showing what she can do in the outfield. She played it the right way. Now, maybe took a step back and had to come in on it and make the basket catch. Didn't change what she was doing at all. And that momentum coming forward, she threw it right on a line, right to home plate.
On your own side, the dugout, okay.
Horsfield is called by coach. She said she is just a tremendous center fielder. Just tremendous.
Yeah, that was tremendous.
He assessed it correctly.
That was more than tremendous. That was amazing.
That's about the third big defensive play we've seen in this game.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of times it is that little defensive play that provides a spark or that will turn the momentum around for a team. Defense is a big part of it here. And these two teams have done a great job when they're pitching to contact of being in the right spot and being able to make that play.
Audrey Bierman up, and the shift is on. You have three defenders on the left side of the field. You have only got two outfielders, one in right center, one in left center, to guard against what Bierman. So there's a whole lot of center if she can get it past second base.
Or if she could turn on one and send it to the right field fence. There is absolutely nobody out there.
And Bierman, we've not even really gotten into this. This is an incredible track performer. Swung on and missed. She was the top performer at the state track meet this year. Top female performer, 100, 200, 400, and she was on the Sprint Med anchor. slapper. Not a lot of softball experience, but it's working so far to use her speed.
Well, we know she can run, and we know she can sprint. And if she could just put it in play, she is going to be a tough out.
The 2-2 from Dighton. Popped up, foul, out of play. Swung on and missed. Bierman down.
Good battle at the plate. Dighton able to get her with that up pitch.
Dighton looks in, winds and fires. First pitch to Maddie Heiderscheid is out. Again, another player with limited softball experience coming into this year. And she has parlayed it into a great season. Just a lot of solid single hitters, or a lot of single hits.
Only 13 at bats a year ago.
Ground ball to short. Aids has trouble coming up with the clean handle of it.
She got over there in time. It just took a hop as it got to her glove, popped up over the glove, hit her in the chest.
And that is another error. It's been a tough day for Aids at short, who made some big plays against Winterset with her glove. Sometimes a strength can be a weakness. Out. Dighton asking where that was. Ground ball down the third base line, foul. (3-1) Western Dubuque in our second game of our triple header today. On statewide Iowa PBS, we'll have 5A. Fifth time this season Fort Dodge and Ankeny Centennial have played. Bunt is fouled off the bat of Wilgenbush.
Western Dubuque would love to tack on one more run, give them a little bit more cushion going into the seventh inning.
Let's call it what it's supposed to be for Western Dubuque, a Rex run.
Sorry, a Rex
Cushion.
run.
Cushions for everybody else, but they got a name in Epworth. Western Dubuque geographically, I think it's the largest school district in the state of Iowa. It covers a lot of territory, a lot of beautiful parts of the state over there. Boone isn't too shabby either with its looks. Kate Shelley Bridge, Ledges State Park. Swung on and missed. Hallie Wilgenbush strikes out.
16 re-entering for 12. 12 will be done.
Okay. 16 for 12. Got it, Coach.
So Walters will bat, re-enter the game.
Shortstop Brandon Walters.
16 re-enters.
Due up for Boone in their half of the seventh. It'll be Kennedy Lewis, Alex McDonough, and Aaron Aids. That is 6, 7, 8. Throw down to first, gets away from McDonough. Heitschuh, the good snap throwback.
It was right there. A good snap throw, trying to catch the runner off guard.
Well hit to the gap. It'll one-hop the fence. Coming around, Maddie Heiderscheid, brakes applied. She'll stop at third on a double by Bryn Walters.
Walters got all of that. One hop to the fence. Played very well on the hop. They were able to get it back in quickly. Keep runners at second and third because Coach Massey was sending the runner in Heiderscheid, but held her up quickly.
Sarah Horsfield runs up on it, fouls it into the net.
Thank you.
You bet.
And they turn the lineup over. And let's just say that Boone would get 2 runs to tie it. You would have 2, 3, 4 up in your half of the 7th. So in a lot of ways, Western Dubuque, they've played this quite well this inning. Looking at an insurance run. Slapped it foul. Coach says, understand where pitches are going. You talk about the ball coming out of the hip, belt high. It's a look outside. You think of by the time a girl gets to the state tournament game as a senior, how many pitches she's seen in her career from all of her travel ball, high school ball, slapped at, foul. Down to left, we'll do it again.
And that's part of what Coach Massey has done with the hitting and changed the thought process of these hitters. Hands and eyes, we've talked about that before, and understanding the pitches and seeing the pitches. And that's a big part of it, seeing it all the way in. And talked about Dighton, how she has a lot of spin on her pitches, hard to pick up.
Dighton fields that one that was hard to hit. Throws it over to McDonough to end the inning. Western Dubuque strands 2, though.
Hey. We've been in this position before. I'm going to remind you. Against Carlisle, we scored in the top of the 7th. Against Winterset, we scored in the top of the 7th. You can do it. Just stay relaxed, stay composed, and let's get after it. Believe in yourselves. Let's go. Mudita. Mudita on 3, 1, 2, 3. Mudita. Right here. Let's go. Make it happen. Make it happen.
Coach Erica White, she was hoping when she got home after Wednesday's game that the mail brought a couple of packages that she had. If you look, there's a little bit of silver that around her neck, that kind of right above the Adidas sign there. As we push in on that, those are the coordinates of the Boone softball diamond. She took her GPS out, and she had ordered the same necklace for her assistant coaches. Now, I don't see if it looks like maybe they didn't want to jinx it and wear it when they hadn't worn it yet, but
I think they were bracelets, actually, is what she said. And so I don't, it's hard to tell if they have them on or not, but I think what a great idea, what a cool idea to go out, take the GPS, find the coordinates of the softball diamonds. That's how much it means to her. And I think she conveys that to her team as well, and it means that much to them.
First pitch to Kennedy Lewis is a strike, and one of White's, her first base coach is Laura Anderson, who is a Boone graduate. She was on the 16 team that was at state. And where did she go to college, Laura?
You know what? I think she's a Drake Bulldog. Boy, and I'll tell you what, she had a great senior year this year at Drake and had a key home run against Iowa State that kind of helped propel Drake to a good last half of the season.
Called strike on Kennedy Lewis.
Not that I'm proud of my university.
Well, it's okay. The pitch from Kennedy is low. Go ahead.
Oh, you heard Coach White say in the huddle that they've been in this position before. In the semis, they scored in the 5th and the 7th. In the quarters, they scored in the 5th and the 7th. They need to score in the 7th here to extend this ball game or take the lead. And that's what they need to think about, just putting runners on. Figure out a way to get on base, battle at the plate, and get the runners going.
Swung on a missed on a changeup by Sydney Kennedy. What a pitch.
That was a great out pitch. That is one that you kind of hold off on and use it at the right moment and the right time. And they pulled that one out, floated right up there, got Kennedy Lewis out on her front foot, and they record the first out.
It'll be up to Alex McDonough, and Aaron Aids will come out to the on-deck circle. That pitch comes in and is called a ball. Coach Massey said we never talked about the state tournament all year. Don't speak of it. He didn't say we don't speak of it, we just don't talk about it. Coaches are always wanting their teams to get better as the year goes on. A lot of these Bobcats said, you know, we asked them, when do you think you could tell this is a pretty good team? And they said after the first week of the season, we knew.
Knew they had all the players in the right positions and they had the chemistry that goes along with it to get a team to a championship game. And, you know, Coach Massey said, you know, we were a little bit of an underdog. People weren't ranked to start the season. People didn't think we were going to be that good. So that kind of helped propel them a little bit as well. They used that to their advantage, but one of his big messages was, let's just go have fun. We're going to be entertainment for the fans. We're like anybody doing a show choir or a band concert. We're just entertainment, and let's go have fun.
Alex McDonough's trying to have a little fun here. She's hoping on 3-1 to get something to hit. Off the hands at the shortstop, Rice. Or that's Walters, who's playing now at short as she enters the game defensively. And it's up to Aaron Aids. First pitch, holds up the swing. Just after 6:30 on this Friday night. I was supposed to get cooler as the evening goes on. It's still kind of warm. Bobcats are rolling. Aids now gets ahead 2-0. That pitch was low. Tough spot for a freshman here, but Aids is trying to extend it. Just get the bat to Natalie Danner. Swung on and missed.
Kennedy has worked hard here in the 7th inning, throwing a lot of pitches, trying to hit those spots, gotten behind in the count, but come back to get 2 big outs.
Well, her arm should be pretty fresh. She had a 4-pitch inning there not that long ago.
I know, everybody was running off the field after that, and I was like, that's it? That was the quickest inning, I think, of the tournament.
The 3-1 popped up into the net, and now the Toreadors are down to their last strike. The Bobcats are a strike away. From school history. The pitch from Kennedy. Swung on and missed, strike 3! For the first time in school history, the Western Dubuque Bobcats are state champions in softball, and it comes in 2021. A lot of long faces on one side, but the Toreadors, nothing to hang their head on. They were underdogs. Western Dubuque said they were underdogs. The 2 seed in the tournament. But guess what they just got handed to them? Pink t-shirts.
What a great run for Western Dubuque. And it came out of nowhere, flew under the radar, played with a quiet confidence all season long. And they knew that they had all the right players and all the right stuff to be able to win this championship.
Bobcats only 6 hits, but they got help with 3 errors to score their 3 runs. Scored in the second, third,
Ladies
and
and
fifth.
gentlemen, please direct your attention to the infield for the awards ceremony. Presenting the Class 4A All-Tournament Team medals is Farm Bureau Representative Mark Buskell. Here is your Class 4A All-Tournament team. From Western Dubuque, Maddie Heiderscheit. From Western Dubuque, Sarah Horsfield. From Boone, Zoe IGHSAU. From ADM, Aliyah Yenga. From ADM, Addison Benz. From Winterset, Riley Caius. From Winterset, Thea Banning. From Western Dubuque, Aubrey Bierman. From Boone, Emily Aids. From Boone, Emma Dighton. And your Class 4A All-Tournament Team Captain. From Western Dubuque, Sydney Kennedy.
Kennedy headed to DMAC to study exercise science. She's going to be now teammates with one of the teammates on the all-tournament team, Emma Dighton. They'll both be at DMAC, but Kennedy won this battle. She was great all week pitching, not too bad batting either.
No, not at all, and what a great duo going to DMAC with these two pitchers in this ball game. And Kennedy got the better of it here today, pitched a really nice game, got some timely hits from her teammate and made that lead stand up.
In addition to receiving medallions, every participating player will receive a commemorative softball provided by Iowa Farm Bureau, title sponsor of the Girls Athletic Union. Presenting awards are members of IGHSAU Board of Directors: Russ Adams, Deanne Kramer, Travis Fleshner, Ron Fodness, and Greg Defoe. Congratulations to the runners-up in Class 4A, head coach Erica White and the Boone Toreadors on an outstanding 2021 softball season. And presenting your 2021 Class 4A State Softball Champions, head coach Rex Massey and the Bobcats from Western Dubuque.
So the Bobcats are on the top of the mountain, Laura, and they did it with the fundamentals.
It was a complete game by this Western Dubuque team, and they did all the little things they needed to do, got great pitching, timely hitting, and they were able to pull off the win. And in an underdog role, not so much in their mind. They knew that they were going to come in very confident into this ball game. Congratulations to Western Dubuque.
And congratulations to Boone, second place, but first place to Western Dubuque. First time they'd ever been in a title game in softball. And they are 1 for 1 in championship games. It was a good one and a fast one in 4A. We've given away 2 trophies. We've seen great defensive plays, good timely hitting. Let's do it again, but congratulations in Class 4A, Western Dubuque, your state champions. From all of us at Iowa PBS, so long for now. We'll see you for one more on Championship Friday.
Funding provided by...
You work hard to feed them well. That's why at Fairway, we're committed to our foundation of personalized service while treating our customers like family and valuing our employees. Fairway Meat and Grocery. That's what we're all about.
By Muscle Lighting, the sports lighting specialists, providing lighting systems for you, your project, and your community.